We're getting breaking news that N. Srinivasan might not ultimately quit as the head of the BCCI. Headlines today has learned that the BCCI chief is exploring ways to stay as president and yet appear to bow to the Supreme Court's view that he must step aside while IPL fixing probe is on. Sources are telling Headlines today that Srinivasan may step aside and not step down. BCCI counsel is set to argue in the court that since Srinivasan was not served a notice by the Supreme Court, therefore it cannot ask him to step down, exactly repeating what he did in June when the scandal broke out. All right, so the latest that's coming in after N. Srinivasan was in a huddle with BCCI counsel, Mr. Raman. Now we learn that he was exploring ways of not really having to step down after what the Supreme Court said yesterday of his presence in the BCCI being nauseating, even though a probe into match fixing and spot fixing allegations was on. Vedika Sudsadev is now joining us with more details from Chennai. Vedika, what will the argument of Srinivasan's camp be if he does not indeed step down but only steps aside? What are they likely to tell the Supreme Court in that case? Vedika, can you hear me? All right, we seem to have lost our link there with Vedika. We will go back to her in just a bit, but let's quickly tell you the latest information that Headlines today is getting to you is that N. Srinivasan might ultimately not step down even after what the Supreme Court said yesterday with regards to the match fixing and spot fixing allegations. In fact, N. Srinivasan might only step aside exactly what he did in June after the scandal broke out. Boria Majumdar is now joining us. Boria, if indeed N. Srinivasan does not step down and only steps aside, will that argument be bought by the Supreme Court that there will not be any interference in the probe because that's being done separately and he will step aside for that period of time?
Look, firstly, you and I are no one to conjecture whether it will be bought by the Supreme Court, because obviously it is the decision of the Honorable Supreme Court. But there are certain things which I will bring to light. One, when Mr. Srinivasan stepped aside in June of last year, within 2 months, he came to Calcutta to attend a working committee meeting. He is on record to have attended a disciplinary committee meeting on 13th of September in Delhi, 2013. Within 2 months, 2.5 months, when the probe was being conducted, he was taking calls about India's itineraries, about cricket decisions. So this is amply clear that step aside means zero. He also attended ICC decision-making meetings of the ICC commercial wing on 24th of June 2013 within 3 weeks of stepping aside. So these instances prove that stepping aside means nothing. Stepping aside means proxy control of the BCCI, which Mr. Srinivasan has already done in 2013. So in that circumstance, the Supreme Court is pretty clear by using words like nauseating that stepping aside will not ensure a fair probe. So pretty evident that all the Supreme Court wants is step down, which means no interference whatsoever from Narayan Swamy Srinivasan.